What's up, fellas? Welcome to the Red Pill Factory, and like always, this dose is on the house. Today, we're going to talk about 10 reasons why you don't want to date a single mom. It's just not worth it. So this video is prompted by a friend of mine who is actually dating a single mom and has a kid with her who was previously married to another man who is now divorced and has like 3 kids from him. It's a nightmare situation. So the ex-husband went and got a restraining order against my friend, and he also has visitation rights to see his own kids. So get this, whenever he shows up to my buddy's house where the girlfriend lives, he actually has to leave by law. He has to leave his own house so the ex-husband can come visit his kids. The story gets a lot worse, but let's just jump into this list. Reason number 1, you don't want to date a single mom. You're always going to come second. If you have any doubts about that, just go ahead and check out the profiles of these women on the dating sites who are constantly saying shit like, I have a child that always comes first. They're telling you right there that you're always going to be second, so why bother? And I'm not saying that you should look for a woman that puts you before her own kids, because that would be a horrible woman too, right? The problem here, though, is that this woman is putting someone else's child ahead of you. It's not your kid. It's not your biological DNA. If it was your kid, great. Yeah, she should put the kid ahead of you. You should both put your own biological children ahead of yourselves. But you don't want some woman that you don't even know yet putting someone else's kid ahead of you. So all you got to do is when you come across a single mom, you just move on, because you don't owe anything to this woman at this point. You don't know them. You don't have any kind of bond with them or the kid or any of that. So why put yourself through that? Just move on. Move on. Save yourself. Reason number 2 is problems with the father. If she has a kid, this guy's almost guaranteed going to be in the picture. He's the biological father of this child. He's going to be coming around. He's going to be visiting to see the kid. And that comes with an entire can of shit. One of the issues you're going to have is pickups. The father stops by to pick up his kids. You're going to come across them. You're going to run into them. These 2 people, they're not exactly on the best of terms. So they're probably going to have issues. And you're going to be standing around watching that. What's going to happen when this guy actually starts disrespecting your girlfriend in front of you? You're just going to sit there and let him do that? Now, let me tell you what's going to happen if you do. You're going to reach a new level of beta cuck that shouldn't even be possible. But you will reach that place. If this guy badmouths your new girlfriend, shits all over her, and you just stand there and do nothing about it, she will see you as the lowest of the low. That's a hole you will never crawl out of. So let's just say you go the other route. You decide to step in and defend her honor. One of 2 things is going to happen. You're either going to get your ass beat by this guy, or you're going to beat his ass. And possibly he calls the cop. Now the cops show up. You're headed down to jail for assault and battery. Why do this to yourself, right? Why put yourself in this situation? When you see the words single mom, you run the other direction. This single mom is essentially just looking for a paycheck. She just wants somebody to take care of her and her kid. That's all you are. You're a meal ticket. You know, when you have a person in a desperate situation, as most single moms are, they're going to be reaching for whatever they can get. So this woman almost assuredly doesn't love you. There's just no upside for you. Like, why do this? Reason number 3, she's probably got questionable morals, right? The real question you want to ask yourself is, why is she a single mom in the first place? Really important. Of course, she's going to tell you something like, oh, my ex-husband was the worst. He beat me, abused me, cheated on me, like you name it. They'll just pull whatever rabbit out of a hat that they want. They never tell the truth. You're just going to hear one side of the story. They're going to make themselves look good while they pretty much badmouth the ex. We can do some deductive reasoning here based on statistics that are readily available out there. There's one of 4 reasons that she's divorced. First one is she got knocked up by some random dude. Reason number 2, she was married but initiated the divorce with her husband. Reason number 3, her husband abandoned her to raise the kids on her own. And reason number 4, she's a widow. So let's break it down here. In the last 2 examples, the woman just found herself in a bad situation and she's a single mother through no fault of her own. She can have a pass for that. However, those last 2 situations aren't very very likely. What's more likely, statistically speaking, she's the one who initiated the divorce. Women initiate divorce in this country 80% of the time. So what does that mean? 8 out of 10 single moms initiated their divorces. They chose to voluntarily initiate that divorce. Ask yourself, you want to date a woman that broke up her family? What kind of woman is this? That essentially destroyed her family, destroyed her children's lives. You want to date a woman like that? If she's able to destroy her own biological family, what do you think your chances are with this woman? You're no one. You're just a stand-in, a substitute, a paycheck. You're basically nothing compared to this family that she was willing to destroy. Stay away from single moms. I'm telling you again, these women have no kind of boundaries that they set with their kids. They don't discipline them. Even worse, the divorce usually ends up making them spoil the kids and coddle them, which is probably what ends up leading to them becoming violent criminals. All right, so reason number 4, the kids are probably going to hate you. One of the main reasons why you should not date a single mother is her kids. You're the one to blame in the kids' eyes. Now, I've had plenty of friends growing up whose parents got divorces, and I can tell you that these kids almost never lose the idea in their heads that their parents are going to get back together someday. They will actually actively work on trying to get their parents back together because they want their mother and father around. They want their family. Imagine you, who is now in the middle of that process where these kids' imagination is telling them our parents are going to get back together one day, and if only we can just get them to go on a date, or like maybe they can meet and go on a picnic or something. Kids think this way, and you're standing in the way of that. So I'm going to tell you, these kids are going to hate you. You're going to hear shit like, you're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. What are you going to tell them? They're not wrong. You're not their dad. You aren't even their legal guardian. Save your own life, because this kind of shit can have a life-altering impact on you. Moving on to reason number 5, you could love the kid or kids, and the girlfriend just gets up and leaves. Let's be real. This woman destroyed the very family she created. So leaving you isn't really out of the question. It's actually pretty likely. So let's just imagine this situation. You work your ass off to get into the good graces of these kids, these strangers' children. You do everything in your power. You create a wonderful home. You're almost a family now. You've convinced yourself even that this is your family. Everything is going great. But one day, this new wife of yours decides to do what she already did once. She just gets up and leaves. Maybe the neighbor has a flashier car than yours. Maybe he's hung like a rhino. Whatever the reason, she's out. Do you think that there is a single chance in hell you will ever see those kids again? No. You can't do anything about it. These kids aren't yours. You got no legal claim over these kids. Listen, even the biological father can't do anything about these situations. The family courts are designed to incentivize divorce by awarding custody to the mother. Even in the biological father's case, you don't have a chance in hell. Reason number 6. You might be forced to pay child support. Hang on a second, Mike. These aren't my biological kids. I don't have to pay child support. So get this. If the kid's father isn't in the picture and you think you're the hero, right? You're helping a woman with her rent, pay for groceries, then she leaves, or you decide the situation isn't for you, right? Listen, you're not going anywhere because now you have essentially bound yourself to this woman and you owe child support. So check the laws in your state, because most likely if you intermingle your funds or you pay for her bills or anything like that, you have essentially taken on responsibility for this person. You will owe child support. How do the courts make this decision? Because they place priority on one thing. What's in the child's best interest? What's best for the child is that we continue taking money out of your paycheck and give it to the mother so that she can use it to raise this kid. Of course, she's not going to do that. She'll probably use that to do her nails or her hair or something like that, right? So reason number 7, the reminder. Basically, you have some guy's full-grown sperm raiding around your fridge and taking up space in your home. Anytime you see that kid, it's going to be a reminder to you where he came from. Do you really want a permanent fixture in your house that reminds you of this situation on a daily basis? There's plenty of women out there. Why even mess with a single mother? There's no benefit for you. Reason number 8, you got to deal with all of the responsibility and none of the authority. Imagine you get involved with a woman who's got 3 or 4 kids. She goes out and you got to watch the kids because you're a good man, right? You cart them to soccer practice, ballet, the whole 9. Now say one of them mouths off to you. Do you believe that you can discipline them? No. You can't say anything. The moment you try to discipline these kids, she's going to turn around and say, these are my kids. You have no right to say anything. You have no right to raise your voice. And here's the reality of the situation. Most single mothers raise their kids as entitled monsters. If you think for a second you have a say on how these kids are raised, you're fooling yourself, buddy. They're not yours. They're never gonna be yours. And you're just the sucker who does everything for them. Reason number 9, other people's children are logistical nightmares. In order for you to go have a drink, that decision has to run through the Pentagon before you get permission to do it. She's gonna have kids that weekend, or she has to attend some stupid soccer match. Her time needs to be planned out, meaning all the spontaneity is gone. I can't tell you how many dates have been ruined because some single mother had an emergency and had to break the plans. You like to travel? Say goodbye to that, because that's not going to happen anymore. There's no let's pick up and go to Mexico for the weekend. Everything needs to be planned around Junior's schedule. You're signing up to have your life dictated by some child who's a stranger to you. Why do this to yourself? Today's dose of Red Pill was brought to you by a conversation I had with a buddy of mine. And guys, if you like this content, please hit the like button because that helps YouTube spread the video around and helps with the algorithm. All right,